Hello again in the UTEX Pixel channel. Today I wanted to make a short update on the progress for the new Nebula development. The development process actually is coming to its end, so I implemented already a bunch of the new players, new weapons and the new buffs, and I'm thinking now to implement maybe 2 or 3 types of the new enemies that will appear on the map, some special enemies. But apart of that, the entire build, it's already it's actually done. So I'm thinking actually to release it in the end of the January, if it's going to be accepted by the Steam by then in the meantime. So what are the major changes that I made from the past movies, which I did already quite a while ago? So I add first of all some new enemies, some new players, and I made some changes to the players. So now the players, they have kind of progressive way of to gain some bonuses. So it's not only that it has 3% chance for extra gears, but every now and then, like for example for a gunner, every 5 levels he's getting plus 1%. So you can imagine that in the higher levels he's going to find a lot of gears, so it's going to be a good player for farming. And then the Rocky has similar for the scraps, for the experience. Then Bobby for reload time reduce, and okay, Sickle and the Razor, they have fixed base, but they are significant, like a speed by 25% and the magnet by 100%. But all the others, they have a progressive systems. And the new players that I created, they are related to the new weapons that I implemented in the game as well. So freezing EMP, like a yin yang ball, and the gravity fields. We'll talk about the weapons in a second. And then there are 4 hidden players that can be unlocked once you unlocked some additional weapons in the game. So they are also related, they are related to the weapons, and the weapons are related to the achievements in the game. So in Hangar, the major changes, I have added some power-ups, something that you can spend your gears on. So the 2 visible one, so there are 4 new power-ups. The 2 visible one, they are related to the new features that are appearing on the map, like resources hubs. So they are the circles with the resources. There are 4 types of those circles. They have the activation time between 4 and 7 seconds. But spending gears in here, you can actually reduce it to 2.5 seconds. So it will help the player to progress faster in the game with the collection of the gears and the buffs. And the wandering turrets, this is an expensive, actually quite expensive buff, but right now there is like a 5% chance that on each level up that it will appear on the map somewhere, but you can increase this chance. So in the end it can be, I think, 10%, and activation time 1 second. So it's going to be like a super weapon that is appearing every now and then. So like every 10 levels it should appear at least once. So that should help the player to increase the survivability in the higher, in the more difficulty levels in the next maps. There are 2 hidden, there are 5 hidden power-ups. They are related to some achievements in the game. All of them, they are related to the achievements, but those 2 new ones that I add, they are quite difficult to get. You have to probably get the achievements later in the game. But they are also quite powerful. And a part of the weapons that I have already in a game, I add another 4 types. So they are kind of melee weapons. They are still projectiles, 3 projectiles, and then there is like a 1 melee weapon, which is freezing EMP. It's it's a kind of a bullet that it's rotating around the player and causing damage to the enemies. And the 4 new players, they are related also to those weapons, so every player has its own weapon. And there are 8 hidden weapons finally, so those are kind of variations of the weapons that you can see here, but with it's the stronger version with a little bit tweaked behavior. Like for example, the rockets, they can evaluate to the like a heavy rocket, which is having a bit different behavior than those rockets. So there is a stronger version of freezing blades, a little bit stronger version of a freezing EMP and an in-air ball. And there are some lasers, additional lasers, some guns, and more weapons with the more powerful behavior. And honestly, I'm kind of running out of ideas what kind of weapons to put in a game, and in fact, I think it's already quite a lot. So I want to wrap up this project and to finalize it quickly. And so for the moment, I think I will not implement any new weapons. Then what else we have? Oh yes, we have new buffs added to the game. And a part of the 10 that were previously already here, there are 4 new buffs, 5 seconds buffs, what I call them. That's because they are lasting 5 seconds on the map. I mean, when you're activating them, they have 5 seconds life, let's say, cycle. So there is a chance to explode the enemy upon death. It's 50%. It's knockback. There is extra gears. This is quite fun one. So that for 5 seconds you have a 50% chance that the enemy will drop gear upon death, and then some extra experience. So that in order to multiply the experience by 2 within those 5 seconds when you have this buff, it will really help the player to progress faster with the levels, and it's gonna make game a little bit more fun. And then there are 2 like not artifacts, they are power-ups that you can choose during the game. So there is a knockback strength increased, and it's increased quite significantly. So usually knockback default value is 0.5. So as you can see, you can double it or even go even farther with this power-up. And then there is a time bend. So how works this power-up? It's extending the timing for all of the temporary buffs. So when they have a 5 seconds, we can have 6 seconds and 7.5. So altogether you can increase by 50% the time of all of those time buffs, which is quite a lot. So 7.5 compared to 5, and if you can imagine that when you pick up 2 buffs of this kind on the map, so the timing is accumulating to 15 seconds if you have this power up maxed up. So for 15 seconds, for example, having the damage by 50%, it's quite a lot in this game. And because all of those buffs, they are stacking the timing, so that's a good thing. Then there is I made a couple of the anything new here. No, not really. There I add some resolutions that the player will be able to choose from, some, let's say, frame around the toggles, and then it's unfortunately I don't have really new yeah, I made the changes to the sliders, so they are not from 0 to 10 but 0 to 2 only now. Then it's yeah, you can choose from the new players. So for example, this player is kind of unique because it's a gravity field. It's a weapon that it's very slow in reload, so that's why it gets like 40 extra projectiles on the start, so just to spawn a lot of the projectiles at the very beginning. And I will try this enemy just to present you how it works. And then all of the maps are ready. It's just that they have to be but they have to be unlocked during the game, and in order to unlock those maps you have to finish the previous missions. So you have to finish mission 1 and 2 to unlock map 3 and 4, and then you have to finish those maps to unlock 5 and finish 5 to unlock 6 and so on. So you can grab the idea how it works. So now let's see how it works with okay, so we are spawning 40 projectiles, or maybe even more, on the map, just on the start. How works the gravity field? It's creating small gravity field that is pulling the enemies to the middle, and then it's exploding in the end, creating an explosion. So of course the weapon can be powered up, I mean, with the levels. Seconds, I have to stop for a moment. So the player, as you can see here, has two launchers, because it's the main weapon for this player. But during the game, when you have a player with the other main weapon and you pick up this one weapon as an option, it will have only one launcher at the start. It's kind of powerful weapon actually, so it's I didn't want to make it really OP. So there is another new weapon, freezing blades, that it's shooting the blades towards the enemies, and it has a really random jump. So it's just jumping the random directions. Nothing changed here in terms of the resource hubs, so you have to still activate them while standing on them. Okay, there was quite a lot of explosions in this one. And that's it. So in the options menu here, I don't want to make the full run of this game, so I just wanted to present you all the changes that I made. So in the sound options, same like before, there's not much change. Graphing options same, and you can toggle on off the health bar below the player. So now, for example, there will be no health bar below the player, or you can go back and just switch it on. And the only things I will still work on is to add some new soundtracks to the game. It's something that I have to do within the next couple of weeks, so I'm searching for some good soundtracks. And then there will be I think 6 to 8 soundtracks altogether, with the one that are existing right now. And we can go back to the main screen, and that's pretty much all for this part. I'm thinking to finalize the game by the end of December and forward it to Steam for the acceptance, and hopefully when they accept it, like a second part of January, to release it, just to be before the February next festival. And keep your fingers crossed so that's finished. Thanks so much, and see you in the next devlog. Bye.